how I want to portray myself, how I want to appear in this world, the image I want to portray is not really who I am. And the reality is that we all go by the image we get. But this is just the illusion. That's why it's called an image. It's not real. What is real is something that requires further investigation. And that is where we begin to evolve in our consciousness as we go beyond the illusion, to be able to perceive the true nature of things. And that's really the whole point. Nature. Nature is everything. Nature is what connects us. Nature is what is alive. But nature is also something that we have become disconnected from. Nature is something that we have controlled, that we have dominated, in order to take all the resources, to control the nature, to produce things, to consume. And the side effect of that? Well, we can see that everywhere. People are struggling, people are suffering, people are competing against each other side by side to get ahead, to get somewhere, to be successful. And that's also the reality that we need to look at. Everybody wants something. And if that's the case, if we all go by our own self-interest, there is no wonder that we are struggling. And of course there are those in power who control the masses, which actually always existed. And that's why I always say we cannot win the war on that level by perceiving the problem outside of us. Looking at those who control the industries, those who control the media, big politics, the corporations, which are actually only there to take the resources and are responsible for the pollution of this planet, which in a way we all are that because we're all part of that matrix, of that system. So we cannot win the war on that level. We cannot have another revolution by getting rid of those people in power and just focusing on the problem outside of us. We all are part of that. We have created those people who control us. We have created that problem as it is. We have created the world exactly the way it is. It's not about a couple of bad people out there and we are trying to get rid of these people, having a revolution against those in power. We cannot win the war on this level. But what we can do, and that is really the most difficult thing of them all, is the most important thing of them all, and that is to realize ourselves, to realize our true nature. The change of this world begins from within ourselves. If you want to make this world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Even Michael Jackson said that. And what Gandhi said, that we must become the change we wish to see in this world, it's very, very true. But what does that really mean? What does that really mean? How do I change? What do I really change? These are really questions that are really important to ask ourselves. But the reality is also we don't have time. People don't have time because we are driven to compete, we are driven to struggle, we are driven to survive, to always get somewhere. This is all part of our programming. And that's exactly it. That program that we're all part of. That is really the matrix which controls this world. That is the old consciousness that has controlled mankind ever since the beginning of time. Nothing really has changed there. And all these countless revolutions that were fought against the injustice, the continuous war in the world, and the people who are killed, people who don't have food, people who are dying, what can change? If we don't change, that's what it's about. It's about us, the people. And it's about you, yourself. And as I'm saying this, I realize that as I'm looking into the camera, looking into the lens, looking back at me, I realize this is about myself. The most difficult thing is also the most important thing. And we all have our unique struggles there. We all have our unique challenges. And we all have learned what we know. We all are who we are as a result of what we have learned from our experiences. We never learned that in school. As a matter of fact, in school, we unlearn. We forget who we are. We become part of the matrix. We learn about all these lies that we're told about history, we learn about the wars that were happening. We learned about all these lies that we then taken for granted. That's just the way it is. There are people who are suffering because Why? Well, the truth, which also has been withheld from us, as we were told the lie, but the truth, which will set you free, is that those in power are driven by greed. And in a way, we all are driven by greed. We all have that in us. We all want more. We all want a better life. We all want more money. We all want what we want. And we all fight our own wars with people we don't like. Let's be honest here. And that's where we can make a change. To make peace. To let go of our need to change things outside of us. To allow people to be the way they are. In order to really see each other for who we really are. In order really to see ourselves for who we really are. Because we're all spiritual beings. Just think about that for a minute. I am spirit. You are spirit. We are all one. I tell the politicians that, right? They think you're crazy. Go back to work. Do what you're told. And then if you do a good job, then you get a reward. Then you get money. Then you can buy things. Well, in that mindset, there's really no surprise that this world isn't the condition it is. The problem is really, it's a system we grow up in. It's the system that is based on competition, struggle, survival of the fittest. It's a rat race where our humanity gets lost. We unlearn what we already know when we come into this world. Look at children. They are the greatest teacher. Children already know what we have forgotten. Just observe children play. Look at their innocence, their sense of wonder, their sense of imagination. And yes, children also they don't know how to share, which is really what real education should be about. But even if you see very young children, they know love. They are love. And this is what we should develop on our capacity for love, because that's the real power. And that's something that we all have within ourselves, each and every one of us. And it is when you encounter somebody who upsets you, even when somebody is mean towards you, you can either reflect that back, or you can feed off on that negativity that you perceive from the other person, or you can realize, you have a bad day, or you had a bad life, or you learn to be angry, you don't know how to be nice, and you cannot change the other person by arguing with them. You cannot win an argument. There is really no winning. Just like there is no winning a war. It's ridiculous, it's crazy, it's insane. We are living in this insane world, but we can restore sanity, our sanity, by learning to be more loving, and by being more kind, by being more patient and more understanding, less judgmental, more tolerant, more accepting of what we cannot change. And that is something that we all can do. We have co-created this world exactly the way it is, and we can recreate this world as we begin to realize, to actualize our true selves, and realize that there is no enemy, that there is no war to be fought, that actually we are that which we already were when we came into this world. We are free. Thank you.